Today I'm going to walk you through another one of Teemon's wizards. This is the Add a DPS Device wizard inside of Teemon Web Editing. This is really a process that's not too difficult to handle using the standard menus. You'd click Devices here on the left, but a wizard makes everything a little bit easier, especially when you're first getting started, because it gives you some instruction and some background so you understand why you're doing what you're doing and how it's going to impact your setup. So we'll start by clicking Add a DPS Device. This launches the wizard, and the first thing that comes up with any wizard is an explanation of what you're going to be able to do. In this case, it's pretty simple. We're just going to be adding a device, and it does note that if you'd like to edit an existing device instead, you should go over to the Devices menu on the left. It is important to note here that this is for adding a DPS device. Teemon supports a wide range of third-party devices, but this wizard is focused on quick setup of a DPS NetGuardian or other RTU. We'll click Next. What kind of device would you like to pull? There are a lot of different options, but I happen to have a NetGuardian DIN set up on the network. And I'll click Next. All right, device name. This is really up to you, but it should be a description generally of where the device is. And in this case, we'll call it the DPS server room. And the IP address you should have jotted down from when you set up your RTU, as well as the unit ID. I'm just going with the default as 1. It's going to be the first one on this polling leg. And then 2001 is the port. And we could change the protocol, but all these defaults work for me. And next I will test the DCP and IP. Both come back green. It'll generally take about 5 seconds if it fails, so when it comes back quickly, that's always a good sign. The IP test succeeded, meaning it was able to get a ping response, and the DCP test succeeded. This means that it was able to poll using the DCP protocol, and that's what it will do every few seconds to check for new alarms. So both of those are important, and they're both working, so that's good, and I'll click Next. And the last step, do you want to enable polling? You wouldn't do this if you, for some reason, didn't want this device to get going. Maybe it was not fully set up yet, or the wiring tech is still working on it physically. So if you wanted to wait, you could, and then you can go and edit it later. But I'm going to go ahead and enable polling. And here we have a summary. The wizard is saying, here's everything you told me. Are you sure? So you get a chance to review all your entries, IP address, the unit ID, the port, everything set up. This all looks good to me, and I will click Done. And it's now been created. So as I described, every wizard interacts with the existing menus and it creates objects behind the scenes. So if I click Device List now, I'll get tossed over in that direction to that menu, and now I can actually look for server room. Well, what do you know? There it is, DPS server room. I can click on that and it expands it. I can go to Edit. And here's where I can set up some more detail. This did the basics for me. The wizard got the device set up and being polled, but things like the discrete alarm descriptions, I can punch those in now. So I could say that this is the door, and a fail is open, and a clear is closed. And how about generator fail? And so everything is here. You can set up all your basic options, your discretes, you have analogs. System alarms are pre-populated for you because the wizard already knew what that device was capable of and what its system alarms are. So those are already done. I don't have to touch those. It's just a matter of configuring to match however I've wired my RTU. So that's how easy it is to use this wizard to set up a NetGuardian. For more information about Teemon, call 1-800-693-0351.